Hello, ya Shabab. Welcome to part 19 of this tutorial series. We are almost done with the CRUD operations. Only the delete part is missing, so let's tackle this. Okay, as you can see, we already have almost everything together, but in components, we need now a task delete dialog. So task delete dialog, say add, and as you might remember, there are a couple of dialogues in Vuetify. Let's go to Vuetify. Here, get started and search. You will find dialogue. A couple of dialogues. I mean, basically, our dialogue will look quite similar to this. So let's get started. I wanted just to remind you that when you code something, always look, if you use Vuetify as a library, always look in Vuetify if you have something you can reuse. So here, let's start with the props. Define props. And we have a model value of type Boolean. And then what have we next? A task description, because we want to show the user the description that he's going to, the description of the task he's going to delete. So let's say string. Looks good for me now. Now we want to check if is the dialog active or not. We use a reactive value. Is dialog active? And for simple types like Boolean and string, we always use ref. Basically, now we say here false at the beginning. Of course, then we have some emits, some event that we want to emit, define emits. Confirm delete, the first event. Second event is just to update the model value. So say update and just copy the name. Okay, and we want to always watch what is how the current state of our model value. So let's take the lifecycle method, watch, semicolon at the end, and this is how we start it. Props dot model value, the new value. And here we say the is dialog active value is according to new value. Okay. Now we need a value to confirm the dialog that the deletion, confirm the delete. Make sure you're not forgetting the semicolons at the end. Now you wanna emit an event. Okay. 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 And we say is dialog active when we say okay, we want to delete the task, so we want to close it, so we have to set it to false again, and we want to update the model value. Here we say update model value is false, Okay, we are done with the TypeScript logic part. Now let's add the UI for this. Okay, let me just see. Okay, let's quite some code. So just let me just grab and copy paste it so I can explain it to you what is happening. Okay, okay. Basically, this is just we the dialog gets only shown when the user clicks on delete dialog. That's why we need the is dialog active in here. Then we have a title. Are you sure you want to delete this task? And then we show the user a task description that he reminds himself what gets deleted now. And I have a typo in here. So make sure it's confirmed delete. So he gets reminded here for what's getting deleted. Then we have some space, and then we have basically two options. One option is the user says cancel, and we say he doesn't want to delete the task, so the value gets it's false then. So the dialog closes again. And the second option, he says, yes, I want to delete the task. And then this part gets triggered. And then, of course, we have to set it again to false, the model value, so the dialog closes again. So the dialog isn't shown anymore. And you can delete the style part here. So basically, we need this dialog active to always to know when to show the user the dialog. And yeah, it's just this part. A title, are you sure you want to delete the task? A text, the description of the task. Then an option to say just, okay, abort, I don't want to delete it, cancel it. And yeah, confirm, I want to delete it. Yeah, that's basically it for this part. Now we can move on to delete the logic to delete the task. And the logic for this is always in composables. Here we say a new composable remove task. Okay, as you might know, we have to export it. I always start on a second line because we have some imports. Say async, it's an async function, and we call it, of course, remove task. And yeah, the parameters for this will be quite similar to edit task. So let's copy all of this. But we don't have don't have a request object. It's just the ID we're sending. And then we have, of course, we want to show is loading the network request. Do we have a network error? And is it of type access error? And this then the next thing we want to do is not to navigate somewhere because we are already on the tasks overview page. We want to trigger the fetch task, that the task getting again fetched because one should be missing and one will be gone. Let's say fetch tasks in here of type, the parameter is task type. We say string, then we say it returns a promise of type void. But we have another parameter here, it's task type. You will see in a second why. Okay, this looks good. Of course, this method also just returns a You can just copy this. The whole method remove task will also return a promise of type void. Promise because it's an ASIC task. Okay, and the rest we can again copy from the edit task. Okay, and adapt it. Okay. So, is the task is loading true? Yes. It's no network error yet. So, but we have here delete task, and we don't have a request. We just have the ID to delete. And then we say, of course, then. We don't want to just change the place in here. First, we want to say fetch tasks. And we put our parameter of type task type in here. And after this is done, the fetching is done, then we close when we say we don't want to show the is loading progress anymore. And then we are going to the, if we have an error, to the catch block. I mean, this looks, should look almost similar. Just change this method name. Remove task, in other words, it's quite similar. And nonetheless, at the end, we always want to say it's loading to false. And yes, that's basically it. That's basically it, yes. Okay, now we can go to the page because we have here, let me just make sure, wait a second, okay, because as you might remember, we have already here this delete task in our task overview page. So showing the error set because the server is not up and running. So let's go to task overview page. And we have here in the line 52 the delete task already. And here we just console logging things. We don't need it anymore, just delete it. And here we say remove task, semicolon at the end, put here the ID. Then we have is loading. Then we have is network error. Then we have Axios error. Then we have fetch tasks. We just put the fetch task method in here. Then what we have from task store, the task type, the task store will give us this. Select the task type. Okay, looks good, but we don't use it yet, the method, delete task. Okay. Where we put it, we have to put it on the delete dialog in here. So task delete dialog. And what we have a V model. Not like this. Okay, we have a V model. Is delete dialog selected? I think we defined it very early in this tutorial. Yeah, now it's on false, as you can see at the beginning, but as you see on when the open delete dialog is clicked, it gets to true, and then it opens the dialog. Okay, just see how the the current flow is. Yes. If the delete dialog is declared in here, we use it when the delete dialog is clicked, we set it to true. And yes, okay. But this will, yeah, let's see, this will be multiple lines. Next line, the property task description. And here we say selected task description and take the value of. We also defined pretty early in this tutorial. Yeah, here, let's see where it is used. And then when you open the edit dialog, it's opened, it gets this value from the task. And yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. And now we have the event, confirm delete. And here we just say delete task. We have to put the selected task ID, value of. And here just at the end, we have to close it again, of course. And yeah, that's basically it. And this is very interesting. This task delete dialog is pretty interesting because it has the, I would say, the two most important concepts in it. Because as I told you, when you pass data from your parent to a child, you always do it with this colon task description. Here the properties. Let me just close everything else. You do it with the colon, this properties, task description. Here's the property, as you see, props. And when you pass data, because this is just data passing from parent to child, data passing is via properties with the colon, and from the child passing data, we always use the emits, define emits. Here's confirm delete. And as you can see, we are using here confirm delete. And we use the delete task method and the select task ID. And that's basically it. Just make sure, yeah, the server is up and running. Okay. Now let's restart the server. So, okay, it's restarted. I have it open in Google Chrome already. This might take a little bit. Okay, now we have, for instance, this stupid task test 5 that is deleted. Oh, and as you can see, I actually want to delete this task description test 5. Let's say cancel. Okay. And let's say again, delete, and we say confirm. It always loads a little bit. I think it's because, I don't know, maybe of the server or so. And now you see it got fetched again, close task, all task, we don't have it anymore. You can also go for all tasks and, or let's just, for overview purposes, let's remove this task, delete, at first cancel, and then confirm. And now, as you can see, it got updated in all tasks. We don't have it as well. Here in by hummus, let's delete this as well, confirm. And by hummus is also deleted. Now we have in closed task one task and in open task also just one task, and that's basically it. And now we have implemented the whole CRUD logic. And that's it for the functionality. but we are not done with the tutorial series because we didn't write any unit tests, and the unit tests will be written for all the composables here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 files we will write multiple tests. So catch me in the next one when we start writing unit tests. But the functionality is done. Mabruk for this. Well, yani خلاص for logic implementation. خلاص means we are done, or it's okay when you're done. When I want to end a conversation, you also just say خلاص, but it's a little bit rude to say for a conversation to end خلاص, we're done. And yeah, so let's see each other in the next tutorial. Ya shabab, guys and girls. So, ma salam.